It is now my honor to introduce the Salutatorian of the class of 2016, Miss Elizabeth Moore. Lizzie has distinguished herself as an outstanding member of the Cobleskill-Richmondville family and as a student leader. In addition to her impressive achievements in the classroom, Elizabeth has excelled at many activities throughout her tenure here at CR. Elizabeth is a member of the National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, and a recipient of the New York State Board of Regents Scholarship for Academic Excellence. She is a member of the Environmental Science Club, holding the position of Vice President, as well as serving as the Secretary for the class of 2016. Additionally, Elizabeth is a member of the Drama Club, editor of the school newspaper, and she participated in indoor and outdoor track and field, where she earned academic MVP in 2014. Lizzie is described by Ms. Kamen as an independent thinker whose convictions are formed from logic and reason, as well as compassion and empathy. Mr. Lamena adds Lizzie is insightful, clever, and possesses a strong voice. Elizabeth's musical activities include select choir, stage band, high school honor band, Schoharie Valley Concert Band, and New Day Choir. Ms. Borkowski, Mr. Swanhall, and Ms. Wendell describe Lizzie as dedicated and determined, and they all agree that everything she does is consistently done well. Lizzie's versatility as a musician, coupled with her leadership, has not only allowed her to excel individually, but has also elevated the performance of her peers. As an FFA member, Elizabeth has held various titles, such as Chapter Reporter, Chapter Vice President, and District 2 President. She is also a member of the National FFA Band. Mrs. Fletcher told me stories yesterday afternoon of how Lizzie could be found at FFA events as a toddler. As an 8th grader, she won the FFA Creed Speaking Contest, demonstrating that she was detail-oriented, composed, and wise beyond her years. Mrs. Fletcher states that Lizzie is passionate about what she believes in and holds herself accountable to high expectations. There is no doubt she will change the world, Mrs. Fletcher continued. She just doesn't know how she'll do it yet. In closing, I'd like to call on a quote brought to my attention by Mr. Weiss. He informed me that country music legend Merle Haggard once said, "If God put too much talent in one person, it was Glenn Campbell." But Mr. Weiss quickly pointed out that if Merle Haggard knew Lizzie Moore, he'd have another person to mention. This fall, she will attend Colgate University, majoring in international relations and economics. Ladies and gentlemen, the daughter of Timothy Moore and Donna Westfall Rudd, I present to you our 2016 Salutatorian, Miss Elizabeth Moore.
I would not say that I have any more wisdom about anything than the rest of you do. As a matter of fact, I'd say the class of 2016 contains some of the wisest people I know. Admittedly, our class also contains some fine young people who sometimes make rather unwise decisions that usually begin with saying, "Hey guys, watch this." I'm not looking at anyone in particular. At any rate, I really can't tell jokes, and if I'm too sentimental, I'll definitely cry. So I'm left with a speech about wisdom. Both of my parents were farmers, as were my grandparents, and quite a number of my aunts, uncles, cousins, and now my sister. So, some of the best wisdom that has been shared with me has come from farmers. I'd like to share some of these pieces of advice with you, as I believe they are universal truths. As all of you know, at the start of our 8th grade year, the heavy rain from Hurricane Irene and Tropical Storm Lee caused devastating flooding in our community. Some farms lost nearly everything. However, the resilience of the people in Schoharie County is remarkable. Now, 5 years later, we see that our towns are rebuilt and our farms are prosperous. Even with the incredible hardship that we've witnessed our farmers go through, we still have a large number of people in our area who fully intend to carry on the farming tradition. This has taught me a valuable lesson that I think is best summarized by the motto, "For the fun to rebuild Schoharie County." The stronger the hope, the deeper the roots. I think that this is great wisdom. The more we believe in tomorrow, the more we believe that our work can make a difference, the deeper our roots will grow. We have many people in our lives that have helped us get to where we are today. They're the people who believed in us. I know many of us are excited to move out and start the next chapter of our lives. However, it is important to remember those people who helped us write the very first pages. If we keep our roots deep in the soil of home, of those who love us and support us, then no matter what happens, we can weather any storm. Richard Ball is our Commissioner of Agriculture. Many of you may know him as the owner of the Carrot Barn in Schoharie. This May, he was asked to speak at the commencement ceremony at SUNY Cobleskill. He gave great advice to the graduates, and one piece of wisdom that stood out to me was very simple: stay green. At first, I thought he meant we should all do our part to recycle. That seemed like pretty practical advice to me. However, he went on to say that to stay green means to always be open to learning new things. There is no limit to how much we can learn. I know it's an old cliche to say education is something that continues for your entire life. What I want to stress is that we should never settle when it comes to knowledge. I think one of the biggest mistakes we can make is to decide that what we already know is enough. It's never enough. One of the loveliest people that I've ever met is a farmer, but most of us know her as a chemistry teacher. Mrs. McConnelly was my teacher during my sophomore year, but she was also my homeroom teacher throughout all 4 years of high school. Occasionally, she'd show us some absolutely adorable pictures of her beef cows, and she'd always have something kind to say to us in the morning, even though most of us were still bleary-eyed and clutching our caffeinated beverages. One of the nicest things Mrs. McConnelly ever did for me was give me some really excellent advice. She told me the key to happiness is to plant my own garden. It's not anyone else's job to make us happy. Yes, it's nice when we are surrounded by people who love us and care about us, but especially in the next few years, that won't always be the situation we're in. We're going to be meeting new people and learning new things, but the only person who will be in charge of our happiness is ourselves. Of course, I don't mean that you should be selfish and only care about yourself. Many people find tremendous happiness in helping others. What I mean, and what I think Mrs. McConnelly means, is that if you are not doing what makes you happy, you will not find any satisfaction in what you do. This seems pretty obvious, but I know quite a number of people who are not doing what makes them happy, but rather they are doing what they think will please everyone else. The adults I know who planted their own gardens and chose to do what made them happy, they are the successful ones. Your life is the most valuable thing you possess. Don't waste it by doing something that doesn't make you happy. Plant your own garden and be in charge of your own happiness. This last piece of wisdom is something we hear all the time. I've heard it from farmers, but I've also heard it from quite a few teachers. You reap what you sow. Now, when our teachers tell us this, they usually mean the work you put into your education is the reward you get out of it. While this is very true, I like to think of this idea in even bigger terms. The seeds we plant today will be what grows tomorrow. We make choices every day about what we say and how we act. In this way, we can plant seeds of tolerance, or we can plant seeds of hate. Exactly 2 weeks ago, I went to Albany to watch a parade, even though it was pouring rain. In spite of the weather, there were still a remarkable number of attendees at the Capitol Pride Festival. I was so excited to go. Pride is one of my favorite events of the year. It's all about people going out and being who they are and being proud of it. The next morning, I woke up and I turned on the news. I saw what had happened in Orlando. I saw young people trying to tell reporters about what they experienced, but they couldn't find the words to describe the horror of what they'd been through. I saw parents sobbing over missing children who never came home. The world seemed so much darker that morning. We can plant seeds of tolerance, or we can plant seeds of hate. No matter what you believe in or what you stand for, remember that every big event started as a seed planted with simple words and seemingly insignificant actions. The way we treat each other today truly can have an impact on the world tomorrow. If you don't believe in that, then I don't know how you can believe that a little acorn can become an oak tree. When I was little, I loved the FFA Creed. The Creed defines the principles of what it means to be in FFA, and by extension, to be involved in agriculture. I heard people reciting it so often and with such conviction that it became very special to me. My favorite part was the very beginning. It starts with this sentence: I believe in the future of agriculture, with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. I believe in the future of every single person sitting on this stage. Not because of anything that's written on an official document that will be handed out today, but because of what I've seen all of you do. I've seen members of the class of 2016 do some truly remarkable things. I'm so honored to have shared these years with you. I wish you all the very best. Congratulations.